Everybody, it's me, your buddy Dave, the host here at the Dark Stuff channel on YouTube. Thanks a lot for checking out my latest video. Right now, I'm in recovery mode. I saw this guy last night, Roger Daltrey. It was the first time the two and I have been in the same city at the same time since 1989. Thanks for watching this week's video. This is going to be a bit of a weekly wrap-up, kind of the activities of me and my two roommates, Nico and Blackie. Blackie getting into some shenanigans over here just as I was starting the video. This is video attempt number 2 at this video because I did have my microphone plugged into the wrong channel on my mixing board, and when I opened the video, there was no sound. Pff, dumb ass me. Let's start off with the aforementioned Roger Daltrey concert. This was last night. It was an outdoor show for free in Memorial Park in Omaha. And every year the city kind of puts on this kind of free concert. They get an older rock guy to come in and do a free show in the park. Now it's sort of about 4th of July and freedom. You know, we Americans, we love to celebrate that freedom. And then, of course, doing it with a British rock star is always the key. I'm not even sure the city pays for this. I think it might be like the Warren Buffett family because they probably have more money than the city, if we're just being honest. But it was Roger Daltrey, the lead singer of The Who. And then opening the show was a band called Inhaler from Ireland. They feature a singer who happens to be the son of Bono from U2. I'd never heard of this group before, though they have been around for over a decade, just never crossed my path. You know, my brother lives like 2 minutes from Memorial Park. So every year he always has like a party there, and then we walk over to the show. And every year I always forget that although it is 2 minutes from his house to the edge of Memorial Park, the concert is all the way on the other end of the park. Like it's a good maybe mile of walking to get to from like his front door to the stage. Would be about a mile. So we trekked over there to catch Inhaler for the first set. Even though my brother had rented a golf cart, someone had taken it, and so we were just like, well, I guess we'll just walk over there and walk back, and hopefully the person returned it, you know. We get there, and yeah, they sounded pretty good. Again, I didn't know who they were. The singer, his voice did have a little bit of a resemblance to Bono, but good voice. The music sounded kind of generic 2015 alternative music or whatever, but I think they might have a song on TikTok because there was a group of young people in the front, high school kids, who were all singing along to one particular tune. So they clearly knew it, even though it had not hit these ears at this point yet. Walked all the way back to the house. This time the golf cart was there, so we turned around and we went back to catch Roger Daltrey. Now this was a party and a family event, you know, so there were a lot of kids along, and so the kids kept wanting to go back and forth because they think they want to go to the concert, and then they get there and then they don't want to go to the concert. They want to go back home, they want to get a drink, they want to get a snack. You know how kids are, they always want something. And so in this case, you know, it was they didn't really want to see Roger Daltrey. So all of my footage sucks of Daltrey. You know, you can hear him pretty well, but I didn't get close enough to see him. When you do have a golf cart, they make you stay way in the back. You can't just drive the cart up through people, obviously. So we were even farther back. At some point, with all the shuffling back and forth, I just sat there and like recorded just the air and just listening to Roger Daltrey. Like that was it. Thing of note about the Daltrey show that was weird was that he opened up with Let My Love Open the Door from Pete Townshend's solo, which I thought was very odd. First of all, one of the top 3 greatest pop songs in history. That's number 1. Number 2, it's a Pete solo song, and when Roger is sort of trying to establish himself as a solo artist, or maybe he's not anymore, but you know, he comes on and the first song is a Pete solo song. How are you distancing yourself from Townshend with that? I don't know. I don't get it. It was great, but then he did make the remark that should have been a Who song. I feel like he's been carrying that for like a long time. This week marks the anniversary of the time I finally got to see Kiss with the original lineup, their first show back together with the OGs, June 28th, 1996 at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. I was there every year. I celebrate it the best way that I can. This year, well, I listen to Kiss and I'm talking to you about it. So, people like to say, well, it doesn't matter who's behind the makeup. It doesn't really make any difference. It was okay with Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. It's like, it wasn't. Those OGs with Ace, Peter, Gene, Paul, that was Kiss. I can firmly say it now that they're over. That night was magic. A lot of this week I was stuck at home because of shitty weather. We had a lot of rain and stuff, and in fact it started hailing really bad here, and I had to get my roof replaced last year. I was kind of hoping that wasn't going to happen again this year. This is kind of what we've been dealing with in Nebraska, like every couple of days. This is my neighbor's house that I'm showing you, and this is his house getting pelted with hail, which meant mine was too. These are like little tiny balls of hail. They weren't huge, but they could crack when they hit your house. They could definitely break a window or whatever. This keeps happening with more and more and more frequency. Hello, climate change. Listening to a lot of Bikini Kill lately because I am reading Rebel Girl, Kathleen Hanna's new book. It's her memoir, her autobiography, whatever. It is, by the way, the next book on my other channel, Rock and Roll Book Club. So we're going to be talking about that in the next couple of days. I don't know when the video will be out, but that is the next one. And it's very, very good. I'm about 75-80% done with it at this point. Musically, a couple of new releases. I mean, Red Cross just put out a brand new album. It's self-titled. It's on In the Red Records. It just came out the day before I'm recording this. It's really, really good. I got an advanced digital copy of it, been listening to it. It's exceptional. They're one of my favorites. And then they also announced that Bright Eyes is putting out a new album, and I got an advanced track to play on my show. It's going to be called, let's see here, 5 Dice All Threes, comes out September 20th. Bright Eyes is only going to do 6 U.S. shows on this upcoming tour. Feels a bit light, but one of them is in Omaha at the Steelhouse on Sunday, September 22nd. The radio station that broadcasts my show, New Day Rising, is a sponsor on that, so hopefully I can finagle myself a pair of tickets to see Bright Eyes. It's not like I haven't seen Bright Eyes like 20 times, but I mean, I'm okay with 21. And then speaking of new releases, I did a video about a month ago from when I'm talking to you now, which is the catalog ranking of one of my favorite bands, Buffalo Tom, and I pointed out that they had a brand new album called Jump Rope that had just come out. And I didn't want to review it because I didn't think it'd be fair to put it in with the rest of those records, so that's why it wasn't in the ranking. Now, I got myself a free gift card to Amazon, so I went on Amazon and I pre-ordered the CD of the new Buffalo Tom so that I could get it so I could play it on my show. Because the vinyl doesn't help me because although I could play that here, I do want to play it on my radio show. So I ordered it on May 29th, and I'm recording this on June 29th, and I still don't have it. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, it is out there. I know people have it, and it is on the streamers and all of that. Then I get an email the other day from Amazon saying there's supply chain issues. What? I mean, from Massachusetts? Anyways, supply chain issues. They don't know when they're going to service it. And do you want to keep going with this order or do you want to cancel it? And if we don't hear from you in a couple weeks, we're just going to cancel your order. I'm like, man, that is a real bummer. Like, it was free, through Amazon. But I decided, okay, I'm going to drive down to Homer's, the record store here, and see if they have it in stock. And I'll just buy it from them. I'll cancel that order. I'll get something else. And I get down to Homer's, and they did have a copy of it on vinyl. I asked one of the guys that works there that I know, and I said, hey, do you have this on CD, though? And they look it up on the computer. Yes, we have a copy. However, not under Buffalo, not under Tom, not under Jump Rope for Jay. They thought, let's look under Jay just in case. The young people, they don't always know where to put stuff. It wasn't anywhere in the store. They looked under country. They looked under R&B. They looked under everywhere. It was somebody either stole it or hid it so well that they couldn't find it. I was like, damn, I don't want to buy the vinyl right now because I need the tracks to play on the show. But of course, I couldn't walk out of there empty-handed. I was already at Homer's, so I did get a couple of things. Used CDs. I got this 2 CD, the very best of Fleetwood Mac. This is, of course, just the Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks era. 2 CDs for $5.99. I felt like that was too good to pass up. A single CD, Under the Milky Way, Best of the Church, has all my favorites on it. You know, the handful of songs I know, Metropolis, Under the Milky Way, etc. They had a vinyl bin that was labeled below cost. You know I'm always looking for a good deal. So I picked up the newest, the only solo Bethany Cosentino. You know her from Best Coast. This is her solo album. I reviewed it last year. It was marked down from $24.98 to $9.99. This is only a 2023 album. Of course I picked that up. She was very upset with the reaction to the album, that she felt like her indie fans didn't give her a chance. And I did, and I liked it. But I make no bones in my review that, like, I like Best Coast better. I like the sound better. I like whatever. I'm not necessarily a Sheryl Crow fan. I didn't hate this record. I really liked a couple of the songs. You know, Natural Disaster, It's Fine. A number of others were very, very good. But she was kind of upset with the reaction. I get it, but I mean, no one told you to break up Best Coast. And then I got this one, the newest Laura Jane Grace. This album is only a couple months old. There's a hole in my head, and this was marked from $26.98 to $14.99. Newest Laura Jane Grace. I already had it digitally, but shit, at that price, I'm gonna get it physically as well. But still, no physical Buffalo Tom, which is ridiculous. I'm trying to buy you, dude. How can I not? And okay. And then finally, I caught the pilot episode of Orphan Black Echoes. Now, this is a brand new show. It's on AMC. Stars Krysten Ritter, who I really like. You might remember her from, she was Jessica Jones, and she was on Breaking Bad, a number of other shows. She's great. This is a sort of a spin-off, kind of a continuation, kind of a new story in the realm of the show Orphan Black, which is a 2013 show that is one of my absolute favorites. When I first watched it, the pilot episode of the original Orphan Black back in 2013, I was so blown away by the actress Tatiana Maslany, who is the star. She played like 5 or 6 different roles, which is insane for one actor to do, and do so perfectly, and do in such a way that when one character that she was playing was pretending to be a different character to sort of fool everybody, you knew which one she was based on the personality that she'd created with this other character. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. Anyways, show was so good. It did dip towards the end, and it was struggling. It had to do with human cloning and big, money and big science and whatever. Anyways, now we're in this new show, and Krysten Ritter plays what we find out at the very, very end, spoiler alert, is somehow a descendant of Tatiana Maslany. Maybe in this genetic world or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be about cloning. It has to do with this more like this 4D printing concept, where it's like, there's some big tech company that has created this 4D printing that can create human organs, and that can be used in if you need an organ transplant. And then there's something else going on, and it's going to be fishy and like big science and big money and crazy whatever. And Krysten Ritter's there. It doesn't seem to be about, she's not going to be playing multiple roles, versions of herself or whatever. That's not the route they're going, because that couldn't be topped the way it was before. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to be reporting on this show. The pilot was intriguing. I didn't have quite the same reaction that I did when I saw the original one. I'm going to go a couple more episodes deep before I decide if I'm going to even mention it again here at the Dark Stuff. I don't know.
We were going to go to the MoMA. Walk around.
And then below, the return of the Dark Stuff playlist. I stopped doing it for a long time because I thought nobody was paying any attention and nobody cared. And then I had multiple people ask me what happened to the playlist and why I wasn't doing them anymore, and the fact that I deleted them, asking where they went. So I guess someone cared. So they're back, a new one, the return of the Dark Stuff playlist. I do them on both Apple Music and Spotify, even though I think Spotify is evil. Friends, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
So, you have a MySpace page or something?